Look who is back. Yep, I'm back. So, did you guys miss me? Like, seriously though, did you guys miss me or not? Well, if you ask me, I surely did. And Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that you had a great New Year or having a good year so far. And talking about me, well, I was brainstorming ideas that, well, what should be the first video about and how to start this channel in new way. And if you guys haven't noticed it yet, the channel's logo has been changed. It's based on the previous design. I just tweaked it a little bit. I'm not a professional designer or anything, so if it's bad, then forgive me for that. But talking about the video, I was thinking, what should I make? What should I make? Then I thought, okay, let's make it simple. Let's go off the script. So I haven't wrote a single word of a script for this video, so I'm gonna wing it. And the video, as you guys have already seen, is about top 6 tech prediction or the future, or what's the trend gonna be for 2021 when it comes to technology. And let's start this list with smartphones. I know smartphones are kind of boring. Yes, they are. At least for me, smartphones are kind of boring, but I think this year smartphones are gonna get interesting, because as we have seen last year, at the end of the last year, I'm not sure which company did it, but some company made a mass market smartphone with under display camera. So I think that 2021, or in 2021, we're gonna see much more under display cameras. And I'm not saying that we will see these kind of phones from name brand manufacturers or North American manufacturers. I think most of these kind of phones will be from Chinese manufacturers like Xiaomi, Huawei, then Realme, Vivo, Oppo. Like, there are way too many Chinese brands. So yeah, I think we will see under display camera phone from these companies. And yeah, these are gonna be the first gen tech, as we have seen from under display fingerprint sensor. The first generation of those kind of phones wasn't that much good, but later, right now, most of the under display fingerprint, that's a mouthful, are pretty good. Now on to the next one, and it's also about smartphones, but I think that we will see affordable foldable smartphone. And I know a lot of you disagree that, like, foldable smartphone isn't even a smartphone, why should exist. I've seen these type of comments in Reddit, and people having argument that folding smartphones are the future. And so I'm like, no, I really don't know about what's going to be the far future about, but I think in 2021 we're going to see much more affordable foldable smartphone. It's the third generation of foldable smartphone. Yes, I'm sure foldable smartphones are also coming from Samsung, and I think also Razer gonna make Motorola will make their Razer phone 2, something like that. But I think yes, a third generation of foldable smartphones are coming. But I don't think it's gonna be $300-$400. It's not gonna be even in the ballpark of that price range. I think it's gonna be under 7,000. I wish that we could see a foldable smartphone around $700, which is, I'm sure, not happening, but I think that we will see foldable smartphones under $1,000. Yes, that's cheaper if I compare to $1,900, $1,500. $1,000 is cheaper. And you have to understand one thing: big brands, Apple, Samsung, they set trends. Okay, they do something, they make it trendy, but to move forward with that trend, to make it a norm, Chinese brand does that work. We have seen Notch, like, it was a design disaster, you can say. It was a compromise. Apple introduced a notch. They wanted to make their like iPhones full screen, but where they put camera, so they said, okay, let's make it a notch. Then that notch became a trend. Like, brands market their phone. Yes, we have a notch and we named our notch water drop notch, teardrop notch, and this notch and that notch. So yeah, Chinese brands does the work. I think you got the point. I'm sure not a lot of Chinese brand will try to make a foldable smartphone, because for most of them it's going to be a first generation product. When for big brands like Samsung and Razer, even it's the first or second generation, it's hard for them to mass produce a foldable smartphone and to manage the quality to equal to their other smartphones. It's hard for brands like Samsung and Motorola. So it's gonna be way harder for brands like Xiaomi. They are operating in China. Yes, they sell a lot of smartphones, but they sell a lot of budget smartphones. So making something like that and mass producing it is going to be hard. So that was all about smartphones that I have to talk about. Now let's talk about computers a little bit. Like, honestly, I'm not going to predict computers. I'm pretty bad at it. I tried it once, I lost it. Patrick, you are still on my radar, dude. Like, I disagreed with you. I haven't said anything in Twitter, and like nobody follows me in Twitter, so that's kind of another thing. But I said it on video that he was kind of wrong, and at the end of the day I was kind of wrong. But let's just not talk about that. In computers, so I'm not gonna predict any hardware, but I'm gonna predict one thing, and that is we will see ray tracing to become a norm. And what do I mean by that? What's norm? Well, by that I mean we are seeing ray traced games, or games which has ray tracing, and most of them are AAA titles or games which are backed up by big studios with their billion-dollar budget. But I think that in 2021 we will see much more games, not only AAA but also AA, mid-range, low budget, who knows, indie games with some form of ray tracing. Why some form of? Because right now two of the major players, or two players, Nvidia and AMD, both of them have their ray tracing version with their ray tracing enabled GPU. Now, ray tracing, it sounds similar, but Nvidia's implementation and AMD's implementation are slightly different. I know it's confusing, but they are a little bit different. But anyway, both of them have ray tracing, and right now it's on the hands of developers. If the developers want that, they will enable ray tracing, they can. If they don't want, they won't do that, and we won't see any ray tracing game. But yeah, I think because both of the brands have a ray trace GPU right now in the market, I think developers will show much more interest. And also Nvidia is pushing this technology much harder, because all that R&D money is gonna go to waste if ray tracing doesn't become a normal thing. And at the same time, two of the biggest game engine, Unreal and Unity, both of them have full-fledged ray tracing support. And to be honest, if anybody right now making a game with a lower budget, they either choose Unreal or Unity. So at the end, it's like totally on the developers. But I think, yeah, we will see much more ray tracing games. Now let's talk about the next phase, which are gonna get confusing, because most of you will say what we already know or it already exists. But bear with me. I think 2021 will be the year when we will see ARM to rise up in the computer segment. And what do I mean by that? Like Qualcomm making ARM chips for Microsoft for their ARM based Windows. I'm not talking about Qualcomm, I'm talking about RISC-V. If you don't know what RISC-V is, I have to make a separate video for that, and it's coming probably the next non-news episode, because I think tomorrow is the TD News show's first episode of the season 2 of TD News show's episode. So subscribe for that. Now, I think that RISC-V will rise up in the computer segment, because as I think it was in 2020, at the end of 2020, when Seagate said that they are gonna use RISC-V for their hard drives, because hard drive also needs teeny tiny bit processing power, and Seagate's gonna use RISC-V. And I think that more and more people or more and more brands will slowly start to use RISC-V. And RISC-V is a very efficient chip. Like, it was clocked to 5 gigahertz on only a single watt. Like, we are impressed by Apple's M1 chip, but if we compare that efficiency, Apple's M1 efficiency to RISC-V efficiency, RISC-V is through the roof. Okay, so I think that RISC-V will be a very important architecture that we have to keep our eyes on. But again, a bunch of architectures came and gone. x86 was there, is right now we use x86, but I don't know, anything could change in this industry. So yeah, keep your eyes on RISC-V. Now on to the next one, and that is electric cars. And I know electric cars exist on the road. People are driving electric cars, people are driving their Tesla, some of them even bought a Porsche Taycan, and I know, but I think that electric cars haven't reached its full potential. Few of the companies making electric cars, Tesla, that's the biggest name, Porsche, I think Ford made did Ford make, I think Ford gonna release Mustang, that's their gonna be first full EV. Toyota, and I think some North American brands made full EV. And I know there are a lot of hybrids from Hyundai, Honda, Renault, and other companies, Kia, but I'm talking about fully electric cars. I think that we will see more and more electric cars in 2021, not only on road but also announcements from most of the biggest auto manufacturers. And at the end, the most important prediction for 2021, this is the most important one, like emphasis on the most. Okay, emphasis on the most, got my point? Emphasis on that. And that is, this channel gonna hit 10,000 subscribers at the end of 2021. This is the most important thing that's gonna happen in 2021. Believe me, it's gonna happen. We already reached over 2,000. 10,000 is coming pretty soon. So I'm targeting at the end of the year we will hit 10,000 subscribers. And yeah, these are all the tech prediction. And I know a lot of people will say that there are a lot of important stuff that you need to talk about, like 5G. What's about that? Well, yes, that's important, but I thought these are the most interesting thing, at least for me, and like I would love to see these things happen. And again, these are just prediction, these are like nothing guaranteed or anything, and I'm not really good a person, not really the best person when it comes to predicting things, but I think these kind of things could happen, and I could see these kind of things happening in the future. But hey, these are all the things, from smartphones to electric cars to me getting 10,000 subscribers. So this is the end of this video. Yes, this is the end of this video. So if you liked it, hit the like button. If you don't, leave it a dislike. But remember, it's New Year, so it's gonna hurt a little bit more, because like it's the first video of 2021, and you're gonna dislike it. It's gonna hurt. Okay, so it's on you, man. If you want to do it, you can, but it's gonna hurt me. And if you wanna see more videos from us, check out this video right here. And if you wanna subscribe, well, do it by here. And till then, there's Akash. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.